Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Omar from the Bullish Bears team. Just wanted to go over and build my watch list with you for tomorrow. Talk about some of the plays today. So, as you all know, if you've seen a lot of my other videos, I always have this scan that I run every night, and I look at stocks between 20 cents and $30 with a volume of 500,000 shares or greater and a change of 5% or greater. Okay, and that scan is currently here on the side here. All right, so I go to charts, and we're just gonna go through the charts, and we're gonna build our watch list, which is already here for tomorrow. So first play is Plum, and Plum was a big mover today. um I unfortunately didn't get to trade any of these because I was so busy working today. I actually placed the trade at the end of the day. I placed a swing trade, my very first, which I'll talk about later on. But Plum was the big mover today, and if you notice, this was beautiful. Ran up through the 9 EMA, all the way up all day. This is the 1 and the 5 minute chart. This is a 5-day 5 minute chart. This is the 1 day 1 minute chart, and you're gonna notice here that it opened at 9:30 at 225, okay, and it closed the up at 440. It sold off like right before the end of the day, and if you noticed it's down here 380s. This is absolutely going to be in play tomorrow. I expected, maybe it might open up and rip a little bit, but this is my assumption is tomorrow that this is going to be a great short play. But this was beautiful, man, beautiful bull flag. So what you do is when you're watching a stock and you're watching a gap up and you see how this is VWAP and this is the 9 EMA, and you see how it's ripping this way and you're not sure to get in because you're somewhat like afraid of what to do. What you do is you wait for it to pull back and form that bull flag, and then once the candle breaks above the previous high, that's your entry. All right, and you just kind of rip, and it ripped twice and then it pulled back and then it kind of consolidated sideways, and then it just, when you consolidate sideways, you just see it push up, and it just kind of gapped up again and just had this incredible run all day, man. This was beautiful play. I think a lot of people in the chat room played this, so this is definitely going to be in play tomorrow. I think it's definitely going to give back some of these gains. 5 days ago this stock was $1, man. It's amazing. Now it's at 4, which is pretty incredible. um so we're gonna put that on the watch list for tomorrow. That's definitely gonna be volatile. Sold 29 million shares, which is pretty remarkable. That's incredible. Okay. So with that said, let's keep moving on. Next play, IBN. All right, this is another one that came up on the watch list. And yesterday, this actually closed at 764 in the pre-market. This thing ripped, and it ripped up all the way to $8. Um, and it sold 17 million shares, but if you look at it, it consolidated. So it's consolidating, which means it's gonna either break above or below. So when you look at a stock like this, you can kind of get a sense of what it's gonna do. What you should be doing is putting trend lines, right? This here would be resistance, and then the low, which would be right here, this would be support. And then what you're kind of doing, you see how it's forming this channel? So like you can trade it if it goes up and it bounces off, then you can short it. If it bounces off this, you can go long. One way or another, it's gonna break. So if it breaks below this, that's your sign to short. If it breaks above it, that's the sign to go long. But it's kind of consolidating here. It had a lot of volume, 17 million shares. Okay, and you can see what it is over the last 7 days. This was at 764, and you see it kind of consolidated and went up $8, and then it kind of, you see, once it hit $8 here, it kind of gave all that back over the next 2 days. It went from 812 all the way down to 775, and now it's back up. I mean, you can watch it, I guess, if you wanted to see. And if you wanted to get a more of a sense of what it's done, you can do like 20 days and see what it's done over 20 days. It's kind of been just going up this pattern where it's going from like 7 to almost 8, back down to 760, then back up over 8, then back down to 760. So 760 seems to be like its support level, all right, and this is its resistance level, 816. So it's at 840 now. It's a little overextended, so I expect this to kind of give back some of its gains. It might be a great short tomorrow. I mean, take a look at it. All right. I'll put it on. Why not? Just to watch it. IBN. So let's keep moving on. Go back to the 1 day 1 minute. ARNC. ARNC opened up at 23. and this thing ripped up. It's all the way at 25 now. Wow, this thing has been 5 days ago was trading at $22. It's up at $25. If you look at it over the last, let's say, 20 days, this was 20 days ago. This was at $18. Wow, this thing has just been ripping. Yeah, I would keep my eye on it. It's a more pricey stock. This may be something that you may want to place an options trade for. My assumption is it's going to give back some of these gains. I mean, this is really overextended at this point, you know. But it's been ripping. I mean, that was 20. Let's see what it was about 180 days. 180 days ago, this was at $16. Wow. So this could have been a nice swing trade. But you know, it's been running. It's been continuing to run. So it looks good. That's what MCIG, another stock that this is one of those low, you know, sold 12 million shares, which is very liquid. MCIG opened up at 9:30. It opened up at 41 cents, and it's at 49 cents. This, if you can find the shares, this 5 days ago, this was at 36 cents. This is probably a stock that is probably going to be a good short. You know, these stocks that are like below $1 are harder to find shares to short. You need a broker like Speed Trader or Centerpoint to be able to find the locates. They're hard to find. Like TD Ameritrade and E-Trade and Interactive Brokers may have them, but they're harder to find. But this stock, you know, it's a dog shit company. This is absolutely going to go back down, and more than likely. And it broke. Look at this. It started selling off below 50 cents because that's no accident, folks. 50 cents is a psychological resistance point. Let's see where it's done over the last 20 days. So you see that 20 days ago it's high at 50 cents, 50.5 cents. So what? And this thing was at, wow, this thing was at 15 cents. Jesus. And then look what had happened last time when it hit 50 cents. It sold off all the way back down. Oh man, this is gonna be an amazing short tomorrow. If I can find shares to short, I'm in. This is gonna be a nice short. All right. Moving on. So, 1 day, 1 minute. And NDG. This looks ugly, but this thing went from 265, and it's kind of holding its highs at 285. Yeah, it's a gold stock, so gold is in play right now. This was actually at 415 5 days ago. It kind of sold off, and now it's kind of gapping up. So when the dollar's bad, when the markets are bad, if you know, when people are mad at Trump, expect gold to rise. All right, and that's kind of how it works. So when the dollar's doing bad, when there's like shitty news on the, you know, about the market, about the world and the economy, gold goes up, the dollar goes down. Always remember that. Okay, so this might be a good swing trade. I mean, you know, gave a lot of its gains. If gold is still in play tomorrow, it's above VWAP. I mean, it's possible. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but it's something where you may want to swing and look at. ETRM, yeah, this is one of those stocks that, you know, was ripped in the past. All right, ETRM, we're definitely going to put this on our watch list. This is definitely going to be in play tomorrow. This and Plum will probably be the big movers. ETRM is a dog shit company. It's a piece of shit, you know, and it's probably being pumped by the same people that are pumping dries. But if you notice, it kind of consolidated, ran sideways. It opened and it hit a low of 594, and then it just ripped all the way up to like almost $8. And then it kind of came back down and it just went sideways. And then once it broke this high day, this was your entry, and this thing went up all the way after hours. It almost went up. It went up to $9. Wow, this thing is ripping. Tomorrow, it's definitely going to be in play, but it's going to give back a lot of gains. But be careful. This is one of those low float stocks, man, that you know you can get trapped in. So be careful. You know, there's going to be a lot of short sellers here, and if they get squeezed, they're going to have to buy the cover, and that's going to drive the price of the stock up. So just keep that in mind. Be careful when you trade this stock, but it's definitely going to be volatile tomorrow. OLN, this is a stock that went, wow, from 26 to $30 in a matter of, how fast did that happen? It went, wow, in a matter of 3 minutes, and then it sort of gave back. These are the stocks I love to short. Like when you see a stock like this that just rips up like that, you know it's gonna give back a lot of those gains. All you do is wait for the moment to short into the reversal. What you should do is when you're looking at a stock and it's ripping up, all you want to do is already have your, so I have like triggers already. So I would already have my order already prepped up, ready to trigger. You know, I'm watching it and I'm moving my limit and my stop, and then when I see it reverse, that's when I place my trade. And it's actually, you can do it a lot faster actually on the on your phone, believe it or not. You can trade on your phone, and it's a lot quicker sometimes. So this stock's been moving. This stock was at $27, and it kind of sold off back down to 25, and now it's up at $29. So you can definitely watch it. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but this is something you should keep an eye on. It may give back some of those gains. It may be a great short tomorrow. Okay, GLUU. This is one of those stocks I've seen before that has a habit of moving. It's an ugly chart. So what I do is when I see it like this on the 1 minute, I just so it looks a little cleaner, I do the 5 minute, and it gives it like a little cleaner look, and you can see that it bounced off 230, and then it just kind of when it consolidates. So this is 5 days ago. It was traded at 234. It went down to 222. It's up at 245. So it's one of those slow movers. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but you can kind of, if you want to get a sense of what it's done, you can see that this has hit a high of $3 at 20 days ago. If you want to see where it did over the last year, at the most the stock was $4. It's one of these dope shit companies. I mean, you can kind of watch it if you want. This may be a nice swing, but I'm not really interested in seeing it. If you want to see where it's at right now, it's bullish on the yearly. It's it's about to it's below the overbought territory. But it might have some potential to run a little bit more. Who knows? It's above VWAP. It's above the moving averages. It's possible. It may be a possible swing, but I'm not gonna put it on my watch list. But you could, because it's holding its highs, and that's what I look for. All right, Tent. It's one of these other stocks. It looks ugly as well. Put it on the 5 minute, 1 day 5 minute. And why is it doing that? Okay, here we go. So yeah, this is a stock that opened up at 49 cents, and it's up, and after hours up to 60 cents. So it's moving. And if we look at the last, let's say, 20 days, wow, this is a stock that was up over $2, and it sold off. There was like some bad news, so it kind of sold off. And look what it's kind of gapping up. If you're looking at it, it's in the, so it's cheap. It's been oversold. So this may have potential, to continue to move up a little bit. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I guess you keep an eye on it to see how that goes. All right. So with that said, let's keep moving. Kara, this is to me the play of the day. This stock has no chill. We're gonna put it on our watch list. This is a stock that to me is the stock of the day. If you can figure out to trade it, because if you noticed over the last 5 days, this stock 5 days ago was 12. This is on my watch list every day basically. And if you notice, I'm gonna put the 5 day 5 minute chart here. The 5 days ago, look what happens. The stock rips, and then it forms that what I call the FU pattern, where it's basically the heads and shoulders pattern. So this is the shoulder, this is the head, and this is the shoulder, and it comes back down. I call it the FU because it looks like the stock is giving you a middle finger. Love shorting these stocks. But you notice it rips up, then it gives back its gains. The following day, look what it did. Rips up, gives back its gains, then goes back up, and then consolidates, it goes back up. Day 3, sells off at the open, then bounces back, then consolidates, then rips up, then sells off. Day 4, sells off at the open, bounces up, and then it rips up. I mean, it does the same thing pretty much every day over the last 5 days. This thing is way overextended. So if you look at the yearly chart on the day, look what it's been doing. It's had 1, 2, 3, 4. Then it kind of gave back a little bit on this day. And then 1, 2, 3. It's had 3 green days. So what do you think is going to happen? This is probably going to give back some of those gains. It's way, all right, it's overbought at this point. So it's due for a pullback, but it's very bullish. Look at the MACD for year to date. So this may continue to trend upward, but I think tomorrow at the open, this is going to sell off. I'll be looking to place a short trade if I have the time. I may not have the time to trade, but we'll see what happens. But this is a stock to continue to watch. I mean, this thing has been ripping. I mean, I remember when this was like $8. Next up, ADHD. This is a stock that went from, it opened at 108, it's closed at 133. Wow, there's so many plays right now. This stock was 99 cents 5 days ago, so it's been ripping. Okay, I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but it looks good. It's above VWAP. I mean, it has the potential. May continue to move. WNC. This is a stock, very expensive stock. Well, you know, more expensive. It's 20 bucks. But look at how much it ripped, man. $3 today. This thing was $17 5 days ago. It's at 20. I'll put it on the watch list. Even though it's a little bit pricier for some of you options traders, this may be worth looking at. All right. And you know, and I'm just telling you what to put on the watch list because these stocks are holding their highs. But what you should be doing is kind of looking at the stock and just kind of getting a sense. You should remember, always do your trend lines so you can see, like, okay, where's the high? This is, so you're gonna say this is resistance, right? High day. Where's the low? All right, here it is right now. Currently, this is the low. So this is your support, and then right here this is your current support because it's been trending sideways. So this is how you get a sense of where the stock is and how it's channeling. Is it gonna break above this? Is it gonna break below it? If it breaks below it, it's probably a good short. If it breaks below this, it's definitely a good short. Back to VWAP. All right, usually VWAP will play like a resistance point. So you know, this is what you should be doing to get a sense of where the stock is. Okay. All right. Next up, INFI. Wow, this thing 5 days ago was at 207. It's currently at 260. It's holding its highs after hours. I would definitely, you know, take a look at it. Keep it on my watch list. Sold 4 million shares, so it's liquid. A lot of these stocks are gonna be great to short tomorrow. Where am I? BIOS. BIOS. This is a stock that, you know, 5 days ago was 137. It gapped up to 160, and now it's consolidating. This is probably one of those swing trades. I'm not going to put it on my watch list, but this is something that you may want to consider though to put on your as a swing trade. This stock kind of swings in big increments. If you look at it over the last 180 days, this was at 254, and it, you know, over a period of time it went up to 343. Then it kind of cracked down, and now it's kind of like finding its way. If it can break 182. Then I would, if it broke 182, I would look to buy it because there's no resistance all the way up to 260, 263. All right, but last time I think it attempted this, it kind of went back. So you see how this was the high, 176. It broke it for a second, 179, and then look what it did. It completely sold off all the way back to 120. That's what I think is going to happen. So if I was watching this stock, I would look to see it, try to see if it can get back to 179, 180. And then I can, and then if it touched it, it bounced off it, and you see all the sellers coming in, I would short this bad boy all the way back down. Be a great short, all right? And that's how you figure out your game plan, guys. You got to look at the stock history, all right? CVR, nah, piece of crap. XGTI, this was another big mover today. This went from 178, and it's in the after hours. It's still continuing. Look at this cup and handle. It's up. So this is looking like it's, you know, tomorrow it's definitely be in play. I mean, 5 days ago, the stock was 171. So this will absolutely be on the watch list. XGTI. All right, next up, IMNP. Nah, shitty stock. GSM. This is a stock that ripped up, and it's kind of consolidating. This was $9 a few days ago. So had 2 million shares. If you look at the stock, the chart, I mean, this thing ripped. Look at that. It opened at 10 and it ripped all the way to 12, and then it gave back. It went from 12 to 11. So if I was watching this and I was like, you know what, this is going way too up. When you see it going like this, you put that trend line. So you just put a line right through the trend, and then what you see is you're looking for that line. You're looking for that pattern to break the trend. Once it breaks the trend, you know it's the reversal. And I would already have my short order ready. So as soon as I see this turning, and you see that it's already hot, and you're watching, it's like, all right, it's going to pull back. When is it going to pull back? And if you notice right here, this is where it pulls back. You got to be quick, because in a matter of 1, 2, 3 minutes, it went from 12:53 to 11:74. All right, so you got to be quick. But you know, if you got the hotkeys, and you can make your own hotkeys, where you can have these in thinkorswim, you can make hotkeys so that it can, like, you press a button and it automatically execute your sell on the ask or the bid, depending on what you're trying to do. You can do that as well. All right, and then it kind of bounced. And when it sold off, it bounced back up. So it's had some volatility. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but you know, tomorrow may be in play. All right. MTOR. This is another stock. Wow, there's a lot of movers today. It went from 14 to 15.79. This stock 5 days ago was at 14.38. Yeah, so this thing is moving. I would expect this to kind of give back some of its gains. So this may be a good short, potentially. And the way you do is you look at the stock, right? Again, you put your trend line. So this is the high. Okay, that's resistance. This is support. And you're looking to see what's going to happen when the market opens. This is the channel currently. It's either going to break above or it's going to break below. All right, and you kind of, you got to keep your eye on it. Okay, so keep going. Let's keep moving. I'm not going to put it on my watch list, even though, it's a stock that normally, is volatile and you can watch, but I'm not going to put it on my watch list. So ROIT. This is a stock that, these are the stocks that I love to short. You see how it kind of runs up slowly, and then by 11 o'clock, it sells off. You see, this is the head and shoulders pattern I was talking about. It goes up. Here's the shoulder. Then it goes up. You see that little thing? That's like the FU. That's why I call it FU breakdown, because it looks like it's giving you a middle finger, and then you see the reversal. And you're already seeing it starting to curl. So you're watching it, and you're seeing it curl, and you have your order already placed. So once you see that it hits that high and it starts going, and you see the parabolic SAR, and you see the wall of sellers starting to come in, you just short into it, and it's a simple short. Look at this thing just broke all the way down to 138 before it started consolidating. All right, this doesn't go on my watch list, but I just wanted to review how that works with you. There's so many stocks that are on this nightly scan, it's crazy. ATCM, no. TROX, this is a stock that, look, I like the way this thing formed. It's going up. Look how it's closed, holding its high. I'll put it on my watch list. There's so many stocks. I don't want to put too many, but PSCR, nah, no volume. It had volume. It's just ugly chart. PTIE, no. HOS, no. ANY, no. You see, really quickly I could tell which ones are not because they're not holding their highs. This is a stock that kind of moved. Looks pretty ugly. Let me put a 5 minute. You can see it ran up, sold off, ran up, sold off, consolidated, and then it formed this cup, this handle. See, and it's ripping, and it looks good right now. It's oversold, and 5 days ago it was at 412. I mean, this might give back some of its gains. I mean, potentially you can put it on your watch list if you wanted to do more research. You can see where it was like 20 days ago. 20 days ago, this was at 389. This has kind of been running between 389 and 423. If you notice over the last 5 days, and it just recently broke out that 439 mark, and that was the entry for people. That's why people bought in, because they saw it broke the high over the last 5 days, and they just bought it up. My assumption is that this is gonna sell off tomorrow, somewhat pull back, but who knows? I'll put it on. So IDRA, let's do like the 1 day, 1 minute. Nah, I don't like this chart. I'm gonna keep it for 5 minutes here. Nah. MBRX, this is one of those, look, head and shoulders patterns. FU breakdown, goes up, and then right here, the shoulder is the head, and it breaks down shoulder, breaks back down. These are the patterns you can short. I'm telling you guys, shorting is so much easier than longing. You make so much more money, man. It's so much simpler. If you miss the open, you can just watch these stocks as they rip up throughout the day and just say, okay, I'm gonna wait for that reversal. And it's cool because thinkorswim tells you like high, it automatically populates it, and then you can short. And you see how a lot of times to short this, the reversal started at 135, and it slowly grinded down. By 325, it hit its 233 low. So, these are the stocks that are much easier to short. I'm gonna put that on my watch list. TNAV, nope. CRB. This is a stock that wants to do something. This stock 5 days ago was $17, and now it's $19. So, I expect it to give back some gains. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list though. CXRX. This stock was at 203, and now it's at 216, slowly grinding. I mean, it held its highs. It looks good in this sense. But I'm not gonna, you could put it on your watch list. It had over 1 million shares, so it's not super liquid. I expect it to give back some of its gains. We can see what it did over 20 days. 20 days, yeah, it kind of has its range at 242. Right now it's at, it closed at 201. So it has some resistance up here, and I don't love it. I mean, if you wanted to, you could put it on your watch list. I'm not too thrilled with it. OS, KS. Nah, so let's give back a lot of gains. It gapped up and it gave back a lot of gains all day. Okay. PGEM, IMFL, nope. RUN. Run is one of those stocks that I have in my watch list a lot. This is one of those stocks that deceptively gaps up over a period of time. It's at 588, it's at 511, and now it's gapped back up to 554. Has some resistance up here along the way. I'm not gonna put it on my watch list, but these are one of those stocks that kind of like deceptively move. RIC, the volumes here is starting to fade. So RIC, held its highs. It means not a lot of people are not watching this. The stock was at 715 2 days ago. This might be good for a swing. Let's see where it is. I'm gonna put the 1 year chart, see where it is at the yearly. On the yearly, yeah, look at this. It's had 2 big days, and it's bullish, but it's a little oversold. So expect a pullback. This might be a good potential short tomorrow, and then it may continue to gap up. So it might sell off in the market open, and then there may be a dip buy opportunity, and it may continue to run. Who knows, And so, what? I'll put it on my watch list. It doesn't have a lot of value, but it'd be interesting to keep an eye on it, see how it goes. I mean, this stock was at $8 at its max. So, oh no, I'm sorry, that's not it. RC was the one. It's at $11 at its max, and right now, if you look, its next resistance point is at like 988, 995. So it has the potential to move. We'll see. All right, why not? Let's keep it there. All right, so we have AMDA. Nope. MFIN, nope. HTBX, yeah, this is a stock that sometimes rips. So at 113, it kind of, it's an ugly chart, it doesn't have no value. And the rest of these charts, even though this one ripped, wow, it's at 1614, not a lot of volume. These stocks, sometimes when you see these stocks that are moving like this, and those are good swing trades, because not a lot of people are paying attention to them. And, sometimes when you have these low volume, less volume stocks, you could, get an order and watch, and they deceptively move. Let's see where this is at for over the last year. The high is 19. Right now, there's some resistance at 1631. So, this may be a good short. I'm not going to put it on my watch list, but that's what you do, guys. You just kind of look at the stock, say, okay, where is it at? It's at 1614, right? Where's the next resistance point? Right here, 16, really like at 1633, 1634. If it breaks that, though, there's no more resistance all the way up to about almost $17. So, you could theoretically keep an eye and say, hey, if this stock breaks 1635, I may buy this, And look, this stock had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green days before it sold off. It's only on the 3rd green day, so it may have a couple more. But usually a stock has 3 to 4 green days before it pulls back. Like usually see 4, then pull back 3, then pull 4, pull back 4, pull back 1, pull back 1, and then sold off 3, then sold off. So let's see. It has 3, so it may sell off tomorrow. Keep an eye on it. That's your thing. And then you have all these rest of these stocks. This is another one, YRD. It's been ripping. Wow, from 19 to 23. Okay, this is something that you may want to put on your watch list, but it has no volume though. That's why I don't look at these unless I'm swinging. The rest of these, they're moving. They don't have a lot of volume. So if you're looking to buy these are more swing trades. These are stocks that I would look at to potentially swing them. And because they're so slow moving, they're not gonna like drop dramatically because there's not a lot of people trading them. So these are stocks that you potentially could look at as swing trades. I'm not gonna trade them because, I'm not looking at them because there's not a lot of volume in them. But these, like whenever you see a stock that's holding its highs, that has under 1 million shares, those are the ones you want to look at potentially to buy. Now, there's one other thing I want to talk about before I close this out. There is a scan that you can do where it says where is it? New yearly lows. So I go to public and I go to new yearly lows, and sometimes you can find some stocks here that you could potentially swing that are like really oversold, and that's how I found Angie's list yesterday. It had it popped for like 50 cents. I found it looking through here. So what I do is I look for stocks that like have like the biggest percentage loser, and I see they have a lot of volume like this one. So I click CATB. Oh, this is a stock that was at $5 and it just completely sold off, right? So what I do is I go to the yearly chart and I see where it's at, and it's at 108. Now look at where this thing is. The RSI is at 22. I mean, it's still very bearish though, and it's had 1, 2, 3, 4, and sort of has been, and then it kind of sold off. Tomorrow, I mean, this may continue to sell off to nothing, but when you look at some of these stocks, they have a bounce. Like you'll see people they're looking just at this, just like I'm looking at it, and sometimes they'll buy based on the fact that it's so cheap, and they'll drive the price for a quick pop. They'll try to get a squeeze. You know, sometimes these stocks move 40, 50 cents, and then they kind of come back down. And you can look at some of these stocks. Here's another one, Gale, has sold 1.9 million shares. The RSI is really low. I'm looking at the yearly chart. So this stock was $50 at one time. Wow. If you're looking at it, it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red days. RSI is super low, it's below 30, right? And if you're looking at it, it still looks bearish. But if you look at the 1-day chart, see what it did, right? It's just really, really low. I mean, it's an ugly chart, but but you can look at some of these and see a stock like this for a potential pop. PBI is another one. There's another one that just completely sold off. Look what happened. This was like one of those. Remember when I talked about when a stock just sells off at the market, you look for the reversal. When it finds its support, you dip buy. You could have bought this at 12, and it went up to 13, 12 before it bounced back. So and if you look at it, the yesterday was the opportunity to actually good. That's what I look for. Stocks that continue to sell off, and then they find its support, and then you buy the bounce. Okay. Some of these stocks may have that opportunity, so you kind of got to do your own research, and they got to be liquid. They got to be like in the millions, a million or more. If they're like in 380,000, 12,000 shares, 100,000, you're not looking at that. You look at a stock like this, RAD, which had 51 million shares traded, and you want to see where it's at. So you go to the yearly, and you see where it's at. This thing sold off big time at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Red days, and it had a sort of a green day, and it dropped 3 more days, and look where the RSI is. I mean, it's still very bearish. This is a super bearish sign, but you can kind of keep an eye and say, okay, let's see what it does tomorrow at the open, and you can kind of see if it continues to sell, and it may have a bounce opportunity. It's right aid, actually. That's what it is. So, so eventually it's going to be so oversold that people are going to look to buy, and then you can swing it. So that's another strategy to look at, to kind of look at some stocks too. So that's all I really wanted to show you guys. So here's the list for tomorrow. I'll put it on like I do on my stocks to trade account, and if you have any questions, just let me know. All right, guys, talk to you soon. See you in the chat room.